Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Last time I presented you the Dell Precision T3610. It's a 10-year-old workstation that I really like a lot because first of all, I found it pretty cheap. I got this workstation for 20 euros with 60 gigabytes of RAM, a 6-core Intel Xeon processor, 256 gigabytes of SSD. I just made some upgrades in my last videos and I think it's a pretty cool workstation, just a reliable workstation, powerful workstation. And it's actually in the second-hand market. You can buy them today pretty cheap. And I think you still can get so much more out of one workstation like this. I even really got a really nice graphics card when I bought it. I got an Nvidia Quadro K5200, pretty cool GPU. But unfortunately, the Kepler GPUs are already kind of discontinued because of drivers. And I was like, okay, what can we do to get even a third chance to this workstation, not even a second chance? Look, what can we actually do to make this workstation more powerful? And as you remember as well, one of my latest videos, or probably my latest video, I got an Nvidia RTX A1000 GPU from Nvidia, and I was actually that's a pretty nice thing to try out with this kind of old workstations, because sometimes you still have machines out there, or just because you want to really keep a sustainable computing mentality out there, you don't need to throw away the whole workstations like many and most companies in the world do. Maybe something as simple as upgrading the graphics card can give you so much more life out of our second-hand old workstation. And I think that's a pretty nice use case actually from a GPU like the A1000 from Nvidia, because they offer tons of features, as we already saw in my latest video. Performance, they are super power efficient, and I mean, actually it's great. The price is also okay, between 400, maybe less if you already get one of these in the second-hand market, from 400 to 500 US dollars, depending on which country are you, and then plus 20, 30 US dollars a workstation like this. And you can get again ray tracing, maybe as well some gaming capabilities. You can use fully trust in your maybe CAD applications, again simulations, and I think it's a pretty nice thing. And as you may know, many software applications are not anymore constrained by CPU performance. GPU acceleration has been introduced in most programs to leverage performance and offload a lot of tasks to them. This means that even with all the CPUs like this one, graphics cards can give so much more power to your machine. Maybe as you may recall, in the latest editions of Windows as an operating system, even Windows can take advantage of graphics accelerator nowadays. In my experience, CAD software like Solidworks, one of the most used softwares around the world, since 2021 release, they introduced something. I mean, we already had this kind of in the last years, but they really made an incredible upgrade to the engine in behind of the 3D rendering aspects of the viewport, which actually was boosting the performance that what you were actually manipulating. And they introduced OpenGL enhanced hardware rendering, and which means that new GPUs can really increase the performance that software like SolidWorks can really take advantage of. And that's an incredible thing. That's why I think this is one of the best use cases for these GPUs, just old CPUs, new GPUs. One of another use cases of this Nvidia RTX A1000 and an old CPU or an old workstation is like, imagine that you are a video producer or someone that is editing videos, and you always relied on the really trusty full HD videos, 1080p. But now you really want to make an upgrade of your setup, of your camera, of your equipment, and you want to get a really nice and sharp 4K camera to record your YouTube videos, for example. But maybe your old Nvidia Quadro K5200 doesn't pack any more the power to actually get through your workflow in order to edit 4K videos. But you still have a reliable machine, maybe with a lot of hard disk drives and a lot of things that you really actually still use for your workflow and is part of your equipment. So you don't want to waste the computer or just get a new computer because you still have something right there. And the old graphics card doesn't pack anymore 4K video. So maybe a GPU upgrade is one of the best options that you have but maybe you want something small because you just want to an entry level 4K videos, or you are not using very complex codecs, and maybe you are wanting as well to upgrade your monitors. You are not always only using a full HD monitor. Maybe you want to upgrade as well to maybe 2 or 3 4K videos with really nice OLED displays, or I don't know what. But again, your old GPU doesn't pack any more the power. So maybe something like the A1000 can really help you a lot. And you want to rely on something still in the professional level. You don't want to get like an Nvidia RTX GeForce GPU, even they are incredibly great as well. And probably they're going to pack the same performance as you want. But you want something reliable that fits together in your old workstation and that keeps you working through the years to come. So maybe you decide to get something small. And to be honest, just because upgrading to something like this that is so much power efficient, you are going to save a ton of money through the year, because the energy used for the workstation, just because you don't need external power, is going to make really a difference along the way. And believe me, maybe you don't think a lot on this, but GPUs still consume power even if they are very power efficient. And just by upgrading a GPU, at the long term, you are actually saving money because they are really cost efficient. So no more talking. Let's just turn this computer on. We're going to make some tests. I'm going to show you the actual performance before upgrading with the Nvidia Quadro K5200. And after that, we're going to switch GPUs and install this one, and let's see what's the difference. So guys, as you can see here in my screen, I am using now my workstation with a Xeon E5 1650B2. It's a really nice CPU, to be honest, for 20 euros, 6 core, 12 threads, 3.6 GHz base clock speed, like all cores, and up to 3.78 GHz in turbo boost for all cores. Really nice CPU, 10 years old. I mean, actually it's perfect for Solidworks. And I have 32 GB of RAM. I have a solid state drive via SATA interface for the operating system, and I have a 2 TB NVMe drive that I installed in my latest video. And I have my Nvidia Quadro K5000. Sorry, I think I told you 5200 is the 5000 only. It's actually one of the cons of this GPU. But as you can see here, I am recording with OBS Studio. It's actually pretty decent recording. It's nothing fancy. It's just like 1440p. My monitor, I am recording as well my microphone. And as you see here as well in the task manager, the GPU is already very heavy loaded, at least the encode, because I tried so many things just to make actually this OBS Studio recording possible, because the encoder of the K5000 was really oversaturated just because of the resolution. So that's why probably the quality of the video that you are watching of my recording is not probably the best. And as you can see here, I have a Solidworks assembly open. I just here placed 2 bikes, and as you can see here, I mean, the performance is already not the best. We can of course make some things like large performance assembly mode, or like I just made, I disable the real view graphics, and it kind of works because the K5000 is still a pretty decent GPU for Solidworks. And this is because they are already like a huge assemblies with around 400 components, and it's pretty well designed, everything here of this for these bikes. And of course the performance is not the best, and as you can see here, the 3D capabilities of the K5000 is already like kind of maxed out, and the memory is already as well kind of maxed out. And that is one of the problems when you have an old GPU, and that's why maybe a new GPU like the A5000 is going to actually, not maybe, it's going to make a huge difference actually. I'm going to open a new bike here. Let me see if I can find the file. I will delete this. And yeah, as you can see here, for example, this is other model of a bike. It has 254 components, and what we are going to do, we are going to add it to the main assembly. I think this should be the 12. Yeah. So now we have 3 bikes, we have around like 600 components, and of course the GPU is already kind of maxed out. Is look like, did you saw that? It was like an artifact of the GPU because it's not really able to handle this. Of course, with an older version of SolidWorks, with an maybe not with Windows 11, maybe still with Windows 10, you can get still a little bit of performance. But just because of security reasons and everything, you want to keep your PC actually upgraded. And this is just like a something like maybe your GPU is already in the last years of the life cycle. So let's close SolidWorks. I will show you now with, for example, with SolidWorks Visualize. And as you can see, for example, in SolidWorks Visualize, at the moment that you try to open a file, it already is telling you that ray tracing is not supported. This is because you already are getting some incompatibility problems with your old GPU. This is still a sign. This is again a sign that you probably need to upgrade your GPU. So let's press OK because the K5000 is still a CUDA capable GPU. So you can still get some use out of it. But as we mentioned, not recommended, and it's probably something in which the A1000 is going to make a huge improvement. Probably, I don't know if it is going to open actually, because it's already an old GPU. Let's check here. Yeah, the video encode probably is not going to handle it anymore. let's hope it works. And yeah, I think the GPU is not going to, yeah, it's already not responding. Maybe we can wait a little bit. But this is actually what I wanted to show you, that the GPU has some capabilities, already gave a new error. So I think with the Kepler, we cannot even go into Visualize. So let's try another thing, video encoding. With video encoding, actually, it's going to be pretty difficult because OBS Studio is already taking a lot of the encoding capabilities of the K5000 just to record the desktop. I think DaVinci Resolve, even if you can start DaVinci Resolve and you can work some kind a little bit with it, because I mean, this is still a good workstation, I think you are going to suffer few, yeah, it's not actually a good experience. This is a 4K video recording out from my Sony A7C. It's not the most heavy or difficult codec to decode, but yeah, I mean, this is actually not a good experience. And if maybe you want to upgrade your monitor and your camera, kind of the GPU is already falling behind. So as you can see here, of course you can work out, still you can make out something, but it's not really that much useful. And if you're a creator, depending on this, or if you're a YouTuber, probably maybe it's now the time to upgrade a GPU. So, I mean, I will try actually with Rhino and with Blender, but it's going to be the same history at the end, no? You are going to get to a point in which you are going to be constrained because just the limitation of the old hardware. And I think that's really the time in which a GPU upgrade, it makes sense. So let's switch to the RTX A1000 and let's see how everything works. We need to reinstall the newest drivers and let's take a look what happens. So guys, I just finished installing the drivers. There is a new Nvidia app. I don't know if you know about this, but it's actually pretty cool because finally you do not require to log in with an account, which was really, really annoying, to be honest. Because I mean, people like me, I have like, I don't know, 50 computers per month and I need to log in each of them. It was kind of annoying. But now with the Nvidia app, there is no login process and you can really just get the drivers that you want. There is nice really things like conservative driver, leading edge driver, the balance feature driver. Pretty cool app, try it. And as you can see here, I already have my Nvidia RTX A1000. 8 GB of video memory, pretty cool graphics card. Take a look to my latest video if you want to know about more. And now we are decoding as well with OBS Studio. And look at this. I mean, from 100% almost encoding usage to only 30%. Pretty cool upgrade. So now we can test again. Let's start just again using SolidWorks, but just that's the first thing. If you imagine that you are a streamer and you want just to record some stuff with OBS Studio, with an RTX A1000, you can already make an incredible thing because it has really nice features regarding Nvidia encoders and decoders. So we are opening now again SolidWorks. We are opening just the assembly that we just made before. And as you can see here, we are using 0.5 gigabytes of memory, of video memory. It's going to be increasing, of course, as you see here. But in comparison with the 4 gigabytes of the K5000, now we have double the memory size. So it's going to help a lot just to accommodate all this data into SolidWorks, into the memory, sorry. So now it's loading 686 components. It's actually quite, it's a nice number. Let's I just deselect the large assembly settings, and I'm going to enable the real view graphics. Maybe we can as well ambient occlusion. And as you can see here, the performance is incredible. I mean, really, this is actually what I would expect of a nice graphic card like the A1000. And as you just saw, just with the switch of GPU, you have really like, I don't know, like 20 times the performance that you were getting before, which is pretty cool. And of course I'm using my 3-space mouse now, but it is pretty nice. And as you can see here, we are only using 2 gigabytes of video memory. The 3D capabilities, of course, is going to be used. That's actually what I want, that the GPU is being used. And as I just mentioned before, SolidWorks really now is taking advantage of GPU in order to leverage the performance and capabilities of such accelerations. So now SolidWorks is working. So now that you saw how SolidWorks works, let's take a look into DaVinci Resolve, because as you remember, it was kind of not good, the performance using DaVinci Resolve and a 4K video stream. So now it's working. Again, the Nvidia GPU is actually doing its work, and OBS Studio is also working on the background, it's recording. Here I'm going to skip the neural engines because I don't want to it takes some time actually, but I'm going to skip them for now. I'm just going to open the project and I will show you how, I mean, even we have a 10 years old CPU and this is working now really good. Everything is pretty fluent. As you can see here, there is no frames degradation. It's pretty cool. And my monitor is a 1440p monitor running at 120 Hz, which also I have posted a video in the last weeks. So yeah, I mean, if you are just looking for an upgrade, GPU upgrade to be able to manipulate and work out with 4K stream in order to edit your videos, the RTX A1000 is going to make an incredible job. And of course, the rendering performance is going to be as well so much better, because Nvidia DaVinci Resolve is one of the best softwares that really leverage the GPU features in order to accelerate the rendering process. Since already a few years, DaVinci Resolve is really on top of the spear regarding GPU acceleration in order to improve the rendering times. So DaVinci Resolve, check. SolidWorks, check. So what I wanted to show you as well, guys, using the V-Ray GPU with CUDA engine, the RTX A1000, it got 459 points, which is more than 40 times the performance of the K5000. Of course, respect, there's a lot of years of generations in behind, but this is actually the important thing. Just with a small upgrade, literally a small upgrade as the RTX A1000, you get a lot of performance. And if you compare it, of course, with something different like the A4000 desktop or the A5500 mobile that I have in my ZBook Studio G9, it's not quite there. But again, with 50 watts of power and with a very small price tag actually. And if we go to the RTX GPU V-Ray, it gets around 549 points. And of course, the K5000 doesn't get along into this benchmark because it does not offer RTX ray tracing capabilities. And again, just to show you the performance with SolidWorks, unbelievable, really incredible. And what I wanted to show you as well is the games benchmark that I tried with the Time Spy and the DirectX 12, of course. Same workstation, only difference is the K5000 to the A1000 update. And we got as well more kind of like 3 times the performance upgrade, which is incredible. But because of course, now you can play full HD games at max settings, AAA games, and it's going to still cut the job. Your old workstation, of course, you are constrained because of the CPU. But as you see here, the CPU is actually the same. It's just the GPU, the one that is making the upgrade. So for gamings or other rendering software that really takes advantage of the GPU for fast images like games, it's going to be an amazing upgrade as well. But in my case, for software like SolidWorks, really worth it. And that is my conclusion of the RTX 1000, is that sometimes you do not require to throw away your old reliable computer. You can just rely on a very nice upgrade for the graphics card as accelerator, and your computer is going to get so much more new life. So with this, what we can see is that sometimes you don't need a really nice upgrade or a very expensive upgrade just to get some more use out of your old computers. Of course, if you require it, it's okay. But sometimes just to be sustainable, you don't need it. And a really nice upgrade like the RTX A1000 is not going to get your finances totally broken, and it's just going to actually save you money on the long term because of its power efficiency. It's going to give you so much more new features like ray tracing, like multi-monitor 4K support, even tensor cores as well. I mean, really incredible things to leverage as well, AI capabilities inside your computer. And this is a 10-year-old computer in my case. What I want to say is that sometimes a small GPU upgrade can get so much done, and there is maybe still things to do with your old computer. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, very happy with the Nvidia RTX A1000. Actually makes a lot of sense for a lot of things, just for video recording on my desktop, for some tutorials I am planning with OBS Studio, to accelerate as well remote desktop connections because of the encoding capabilities and decoding capabilities. Pretty nice CPU, and I can really actually recommend it to you for the price. So guys, thank you very much guys for watching, and see you until the next time.